Good afternoon, Commissioners. Let's call the meeting to order. First item is Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Today's invocation is offered by Commissioner Perna.
Let us bow our heads, please. Dear God, we come to you today asking for your guidance, your wisdom, your support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in a meaningful discussion. Allow us to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of this community. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that might affect us and all those around us. And continue to remind us that we do here today all that we accomplish is for the pursuit and truth of a greater glory to you and for the service of humanity. We ask this in the things of your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioner Perna. Item 4 is adoption of the agenda. Can I have a motion?
Romano adopts the agenda.
Support Zinner.
Any discussion on that? Seeing none, please call the vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. Item 5 is approval of the minutes dated June 15, 2023. Can I have a motion to approve?
So move,
Motion to
Perna.
approve. Support Van Sickle.
Any discussion on the minutes? Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. Item 6 is public participation. This is the first opportunity members of the public have to speak on any subject they like that's on the agenda. They have 3 minutes. If they following that this meeting, at the end of the agenda, there'll be another opportunity to speak on any subject you wish. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? State your name for the record.
Good afternoon. My name is Robert Slavko. I live at 15240 Eaton Point, Clinton Township, Michigan. And I'm asking to be appointed to the Veterans Commission. I was looking through my papers and I found some of my accomplishments I didn't tell you the other day and I thought I should. I've been married to my wife, Fran, for 54 years now. This was 39. 38 years of public service, 12 years as public service director, City of Warren, combat wounded Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart, 13 years on Warren Municipal Credit Union Board of Directors, 6 years on City of Warren Retirement System Board of Directors, life member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Menji Post, Vice Commander, which after the Charter Commissioner, I went on to serve 8 years as Commander. 13 years, it's more than that now, a Fraternal Order of the Police, and member of Christ Lutheran Church. My father was a combat, he was in World War II. He fought in Africa and he fought in Italy. And I wear his ring. This is what he brought back from the war with him. I wear his ring for luck. Whenever I go for something important. Well, on November 2nd, 1969, at 7 p.m., I was in combat and I got wounded. I spent the night, we were surrounded by the enemy. I spent the night in a bomb crater. They picked me up 7 o'clock the next morning, took me to the hospital in Saigon. From there, I went to Camp Zama in Japan, and from there, Walter Reed, Washington, D.C. I have 3 bullets in my back. This is what I brought back from the war. I live with it every day. I carry it with me every day. On the civil service test, they give veterans an extra point for being in the service. That's what I remember back then. I'm asking for an extra point for being wounded.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard under public participation? Anyone else? One more time. Here you go.
Hi, my name is Wayne Fetty, Chief Master Sergeant, retired after 40 years. And I was lucky enough to be appointed to the Veterans Affairs Commission. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be here on Monday during the interviews. Had a commitment with a veterans event that I made over a year ago. But I just wanted you to know that in this past year, it's been very interesting and eye-opening. And it really fits right into my life and how I've been. Like I said, I served for 40 years. I retired in 2016 and have been running veteran organization, the Listed Heritage House, ever since then, and will continue. And whether I get the appointment or not, I'll still continue to fight for our veterans and work with them and help them out. And I just wanted you to know that I'm very interested in staying on board. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else under public participation wish to be heard? Anyone else? One more time. Anyone else wish to be heard? Seeing none, we'll close public participation. Item 7 are proclamations. Proclamation, I'll take a motion to approve all of them, A through E, and then we'll go through in order and present them, if that's all right.
The motion, Chair.
Support center.
Very good. Motion's been made and supported. Please vote to approve and we'll present.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. Item 7A, proclamation congratulating Dodge Park, Coney Island on its 20th anniversary. Commissioner Romano,
Thank you, Chair. If I may, I'll go to the podium.
please.
If I can have Mr. Weekai come up to the podium. There's a surprised look on his face. I don't understand. Maybe he didn't know he was getting it. Should you have the right guy? Come on up here, Butch. Right there. This is the proclamation congratulating Dodge Park, Coney Island on the occasion of its 20th anniversary. Commissioner myself, on behalf of the Macomb County Board of Commissioners, offers the following proclamation. Whereas the Board of Commissioners wishes to publicly commend and congratulate Dodge Park, Coney Island as it celebrates its 20th anniversary. And whereas Dodge Park, Coney Island was founded in 2003 by Pashko Weekai when he was 20 years old in Sterling Heights with a good serving quality food to customers in a comfortable atmosphere. And whereas the Dodge Park, Coney Island owner and founder, Pashko Weekai, immigrated from Albania to Sterling Heights along with his mother and brother when he was 8 years old, all three working diligently to open Dodge Park, Coney Island. And whereas Dodge Park, Coney Island is located in the Dodge Park Plaza Shopping Center in the heart of Sterling Heights. It's also known as the Second City Hall. It is where you'll find many city employees, including Mayor Taylor, Chief Dwojikowski, police officers, firefighters, and local judges, as well as Rich Luderman of WXYZ enjoying their food. And whereas Dodge Park, Coney Island is a thriving local business that survived the pandemic and continues to be a successful post-pandemic business, and whereas Dodge Park, Coney Island has been visited by some very well-known dignitaries, including Congressman John James, former Congresswoman and current Public Works Commissioner Candace Miller, Senator Gary Peters, Macomb County Executive Mark Hackle, Macomb County Prosecutor Peter Lucido, and also Governor Whitmer, who has visited Pashko's place twice. Whereas Dodge Park, Coney Island generously gives back to the community by helping the local Honor Guard, Police Department, and the Sterling Heights community. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners, speaking on and for behalf of the county citizens as follows, that by these present, the Macomb County Board of Commissioners hereby publicly acknowledge and expresses its congratulations to Dodge Park, Coney Island on occasion of its 20th anniversary. It is further resolved that a copy of this proclamation be presented to Dodge Park, Coney in testimony of the high esteem in which it is held by the Macomb County Board of Commissioners. Pashko, congratulations, my friend. Don't thank me, you thank that lady. Here's that one. It's all yours. You may say something. Thank you.
Wow. Well, what do I say? I don't have a list. If I already knew, I would have brought a speech. Well, let me tell you about this. I'm lucky to be here, and I knew I came prepared to receive to be witness of his award. Okay, he said to me, he's like, I'm receiving an award for 25 years on the commission. I'm like, you haven't been 25 years on the commission. He's like, yeah, well, combined with the city council. I'm like, oh, okay, oh, well, I'll be there. A week later, he's like, let me remind you, next week, you coming in, I'm gonna receive an award for 30 years of, I said, wait, you told me 25 years last week. He said, look, it's all together, just be there. Are you going? I'll be there. And in my mind, I'm like, thank God they're receiving an award with a number, so he'll remember how many years he served the community. Well, listen, I want to tell you, I don't know what to say. I'm going to say this. Yes, I was 21 years old, shy of 21. And I remember I moved to the city back in 99, city of Sterling Heights. 2003 is when I opened Dodge Park Coney. And I was just 21, shy of 21. And I received all kind of, newspapers and all the stuff. So I know about some public important people. And that was our mayor, Richard Noddy. How can you miss him with the hat? And I was like, yeah, he is somebody, definitely. One day, him and Joe walk into my place, and I'm like, oh my God. So I go in the back and get my mother. I'm like, we got some important people here. They're like, well, who are they? I'm like, I don't know. All I know is they're important. I see them on the paper. And I'm staring at them the whole time. I can remember like it was yesterday. I'm staring at both of them while they're having breakfast, making sure that the girl goes and checks on the coffee. Probably they thought, what a weird guy. I mean, he's probably, well, what's he doing here? He should be in the school, and if you knew Richard, you know that you didn't have to say anything. He'll come and talk to you. And he comes up and he's like, hey, great breakfast. I'm like, thank you. Thank God he didn't ask me for my name, because I don't think I would have known. That's how nervous I was. But they came back, and the rest is history. So I want to thank you. Thank the city of Sterling Heights. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Macomb County. And then you know what? I couldn't be any more blessed with. I couldn't do it without my support of my mother and my brother, and obviously my staff. I got a staff of 19 years. That's been with me.
Yeah, stand up
I don't
there.
know how she
19
put
years.
up,
Stand up.
but she, my deserve a proclamation. Well, thank you again, and God bless you.
Let me have that for a second.
Commissioner Romano,
Sir.
in that proclamation, there was one person that was missing from all those dignitaries that you responded to. Your name is not on there.
I didn't consider myself a dignitary.
Commissioner
Thank you.
Romano, Commissioner Romano, there's two names missing. He took me to breakfast there 3 times.
Gotta fix the copy.
And I've
Joe,
been there.
you forgot you took me breakfast there 3 times.
Took Mr. Perna there also. Took Mr. Brown there also.
All right, very good. Thank you, Commissioner Romano, and
Thank you, Chair.
you're welcome. 7B, proclamation commending Troy Korns for being named a Michigan Eagle Scout of the Year. Commissioner Kraft.
Now, Pashko, I can tell you that Commissioner Romano has not been on this board for 25 years, because him and I came in at the same time, and I would have been a teenager, so about as old as this guy right here. So today I am honored to be here with Troy Korns. He has been named the Michigan Eagle Scout of the Year. Not just Eagle Scout, the Michigan Eagle Scout of the Year. So I want to present him with a proclamation for that. And normally I don't read these in their entirety, but he's accomplished so much in his young life that I'm going to run through it, so bear with me. Whereas the Boy Scouts of America has steadfastly taught its young members that service and assistance to others rather than to oneself are the highest attainable goals in life and scouting. Whereas Troy Korns of Boy Scout Troop 211 of New Baltimore, Michigan, has faithfully and devotedly adhered to the teachings and principles of the Boy Scouts of America and participated to such an extent that he has earned and achieved the highest rank possible, that of Eagle Scout, which is worthy of public acknowledgement and commendation by this body. And whereas Troy Korns was not content to rest on this very notable laurel, he continued on and earned 2 Supernova Awards in scouting, and has now been named the prestigious Michigan Eagle Scout of the Year by the American Legion Department of Michigan. And whereas in 2018, Troy Korns earned the Dr. Bernard Harris Supernova Award, whereas in 2019, Troy Korns earned the Thomas Edison Supernova Award, whereas Troy Korns was motivated by the STEM aspects of these awards, and one of his projects to earn the Thomas Edison Award involved research on how the internet was developed. And whereas Troy Korns met the requirements to be eligible to earn the Supernova Award by reaching the status of first-class rank in scouting and earned 3 of the 4 Nova Awards. And whereas having proved his strong leadership skills and superb worthiness as an Eagle Scout, Troy Korns has been named as Michigan Eagle Scout of the Year by the American Legion Department of Michigan and will advance to the American Legion Eagle Scout of the Year national competition. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of Commissioners, speaking for and on behalf of all county residents as follows, that by these presents, the Macomb County Board of Commissioners hereby publicly acknowledges and commends Troy Korns on being named Michigan Eagle Scout of the Year, an achievement far above the rank of Eagle, which sought by all who join the Boy Scouts of America, but is rarely attained, and which truly deserves public recognition. Be it further resolved that a suitable copy of this proclamation be presented to Troy Korns in recognition of him being named Michigan Eagle Scout of the Year. Congratulations, Troy.
Sure. I feel like that very much so said everything that I've done with Scouts up to this point. I just want to take a moment to thank the Board of Commissioners for giving me the honor of being here and the recognition with this. Thank you.
What is your next step?
College.
Academy?
What was that?
Military academy or Naval academy? Or?
The major contenders are Kettering or Michigan Tech at the moment, but it's not completely ruled out. Right. Don't forget to thank your parents. Oh, and yes, thank you to my mother and father for helping me through this process, and my scouts helping me through the scouting aspects.
I always got yelled at for that, so I'm trying to help future generations.
Phil,
Congratulations.
Phil, you gonna bring the family up for a picture?
You guys all want to come up? Mom, Dad? You want to come up for a picture?
Mom, Dad.
Take them all.
I just said that, Phil.
Lift the little one up so we can see her. Don't be afraid. There you go.
We'll see her behind
All
the
right. There you go.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Commissioner Kraft. Next, we have item C, a proclamation proclaiming, recognizing July 11th as Srebrenica Remembrance Day, and Commissioner Wallace and Commissioner Song will be making that presentation jointly. Representatives from the community could come forward to the podium.
Thanks for putting the microphone down in anticipation of my.
That's funny.
On behalf of the Macomb County Board of Commissioners, we are very proud to recognize the 28th anniversary of the Srebrenica massacre, in which at least 8,372 innocent Bosnian civilians were executed. 30,000 expelled from their homes in the single largest mass murder in Europe since World War II. Myself, as a refugee who is displaced because of war, this is very close to my heart, and this is the least that we could do to recognize the history of the Bosnian American community here in Macomb County. And Commissioner Wallace, do you want to read the proclamation?
Whereas Macomb County is home to more than 3,000 Bosnians, and whereas both the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives passed resolutions in 2005 acknowledging the genocide that the Siberian forces perpetrated in Srebrenica and all Bosnia for 1992 to 1995, and whereas July 11, 2023 is commemorated as the 28th anniversary of the Srebrenica massacre, in which at least 8,372 innocent Bosniak civilians were summarily executed and 30,000 were expelled from their homes. Whereas this anniversary is an opportunity to remember and honor those who lost their lives to a brutal campaign of terror, force, and ethnic cleansing. And I won't go through it all, but that's the summary of it, and we are honored to present this and recognize you, and next year will be on time and before the anniversary.
Thank you very much. I sure
Yes,
do.
please.
First of all, thank you very much for listening to our story and for trying to understand. And I know this takes home, especially once you're a refugee, then you really can understand others, what they have gone through. I just want to thank everyone for your consideration and for the vote and for granting us this proclamation. I certainly think that remembrance is the only way and awareness is the only way to fight against genocide. And thank you all for reading our story. Appreciate it.
A picture if you
Absolutely.
want to turn it around. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioners. Next is proclamation in memory of Connor Mahone, recognition of his contributions to the community, presented by Commissioner Hall and myself. We need that taller mic, but it hasn't arrived yet. It's a proclamation in memory of Connor David Mahone and for his contributions for the community. Whereas the community serves with sincerity, honesty, devotion, and a genuine involvement that generates an improvement and the betterment of the quality of life in the people is an aspiration and a dream sought by many, but seldom achieved or fulfilled. Whereas the aforementioned attributes aptly apply to Connor David Mahone, a lifelong resident of Roseville and a devoted Fraser High School teacher who unselfishly gave his time, energy, undaunted efforts to his community. Whereas Connor David Mahone was a beloved community volunteer who worked for the Roseville Recreation Department for 8 years as a counselor, interacting with kids. As he was a proud grandson of Reverend Clarence King of Healing for the Nations Church in East Point, where he was involved with his church and ran Vacation Bible School for kids. He cared deeply for his church community and was respected by all who were fortunate to know him. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that a suitable proclamation be presented to his family for the late Connor David Mahone in testimony of his high esteem, which is held on behalf of the Macomb County Board of Commissioners. It's offered by Commissioner Hall, Commissioner from Roseville.
I'd just like to thank former Commissioner Rivard for contacting me through Deputy Executive Mark Delden. We know this proclamation will never ease the pain you're going through, but we sure offer you our thoughts and prayers and hope it helps just a little. So God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Folks, you want to look forward so you can get your picture, and we'll send it to you.
It is pronounced McMahon as well.
It's okay.
Thank you.
I just want to thank the Board of Commissioners and Commissioner Hall for putting this resolution together. Connor touched many, many lives in his short time here on the earth, and I thank you for publicly recognizing his involvement and his community service. So it means a lot to the family, and I thank you for doing this for him. God bless you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And 7E is a proclamation on Pastor Mark Haller for 50 years, a dedicated ministry in the Richmond community. Now, he's not here, and I'll be presenting that personally at a later date to him. So we'll close those, and thank all of you, and thank all the guests who've come to honor our awardees, and thank you so much. I'm going to take a moment of a personal privilege and recognize another guest that's here with our audience today that doesn't need no introduction, but he came anyway. And we'll wait till these people leave. I want to welcome County Executive Mark Hackle to our board meeting. We appreciate that. We appreciate you being here, County Executive. Next item is Veterans Affairs Commission appointments. We have 2 vacancies for 4-year terms. We have a list in front of you. Each commissioner will be called and be offer 2 names. And Adriana will call your name and offer 2 names.
Commissioner Grote,
Wayne Conner, Wayne Fetty, and Robert Slavko.
Commissioner Ha,
Gary Purcell and Robert Slacko.
Commissioner Lucido,
David Archer and Robert Slotko.
Commissioner Kraft,
Wayne Fetty and Gary Purcell.
Commissioner Nard,
Gary Purcell and Robert Slavko.
Commissioner Perna,
David Archer, Robert Slavko.
Commissioner Romano,
David Archer, Robert Slavko.
Commissioner Sabatini,
Wayne Fetty and Gary Purcell.
Commissioner Vansickle,
Link Howard and Gary Purcell.
Commissioner Wallace,
David Archer and Wayne Fetty.
Commissioner Song,
Archer, Slavko.
Commissioner Zinner,
Archer, Slotko.
Chair Brown.
Gary Purcell, Robert Slotko.
Okay, so we have a majority with 9 votes for Slavko. For the next round, I will drop any that didn't receive a vote and then the lowest. So you'll be voting from Archer, Fetty, and Purcell. Commissioner Grote,
Gary Purcell.
Commissioner Ha,
Gary Purcell.
Commissioner Lucido,
Archer.
Commissioner Kraft,
Fetty.
Commissioner Nard, Commissioner Perna,
Archer.
Commissioner Romano,
Archer.
Commissioner Sabatini,
Purcell.
Commissioner Vansickle,
Archer.
Commissioner Wallace,
Archer.
Commissioner Song,
Archer.
Commissioner Zinner,
Archer.
Chair Brown.
Gary Purcell.
Archer has a majority with 7 votes.
All right, congratulations on the appointees. Look forward to your service on behalf of veterans for the county.
Chair, would you like a motion for those two?
Please.
I'll make the motion for David Archer and Robert Slavko.
Support Lucido.
All right, motion's been made and supported. Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Very good. Item B, Macomb Orchard Trail Commission is a county executive appointment with board concurrence for a vacancy of the Macomb Orchard Trail Commission of Commissioner Sylvia Grote.
I'll make the motion to appoint Sylvia Grott.
Support Lucido.
Any discussion? Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Congratulations, Commissioner.
Thank you. Can I say a few words?
You may.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Brown. Thank you for your service on the Orchard Trail Committee. I am looking forward to continue the good work you and the committee have done. That is my great honor to serve. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you. It's 26 miles of fun in northern Macomb County.
We will be biking.
Item 9 is Government Oversight Committee recommendations. Can I have a motion to approve items 9A through C?
So move, Hall.
Support Romano.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Any discussion, any of those items? Please vote.
Commissioner Hart, I need your vote.
Oh,
Thank you.
there you go.
Motion passes 13-0.
Very good. Item 10, Public Services Committee recommendations. Can I have a motion to approve items 10A through 10M?
Mr. Chair, can we separate 10M?
We can. We'll take the first vote for items A through L. Can I have a motion?
So moved. Support.
Any discussion, any of those items? Please vote. For those listening and watching at home, all these items on the agenda were debated at length in previous board meetings earlier this month and sometimes months in advance of that. So we're carrying through the final votes for these things. This is the second reading, final approving all the minutes that were here previously. Item N, contract with David Tree Company, Expert Tree Company, Innovate Mountain Landscaping for a total cost of $3,784,643.52. County cost is 1.892, 3.21. And a motion to approve?
So move.
Support. Discussion, Commissioner Sabatini.
Thank you, Chair. I had asked some questions in committee regarding this item and asked for additional information. I took a look at the bid form in regards to all the landscaping, and in my opinion, it seems very excessive. Looking at what the county's contributing here, $1.9 million towards landscaping in that stretch, without being bid out, makes me a little leery. And for those reasons, I'm not going to be supporting this contract. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other speakers on this item? I don't see any. Please call the vote.
Motion passes 9-4. Commissioners Grote, Sabatini, Vansickle, and Zinner voting no.
Okay, thank you. Item 11, Internal Services Committee recommendations. Need a motion to approve items 11A through H. Any discussion on any of those items? We'll see any, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Item 12, Finance, Audit, and Budget Committee recommendations. I need a motion to approve items 12A through E.
Support Hall.
Any discussion on any of those items? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Item 13, American Rescue Plan ARP Fund project items. Need a motion to approve items 13A through F.
Support Hall.
Chair, I'd like to separate A and B.
Okay. I'll take a motion on items C through F.
Support.
And we'll just
Separated,
go
okay.
One by one.
Chair, can I make a recommendation that we do them all individually?
Sure, that'd be fine.
Thank
That's-
you.
Since 3 are separated and 3 are remain. Okay, we'll do 13A first. Budget amendment for American Rescue Plan for the drainage districts to 40 million.
Motion to approve.
Any discussion on that item? Please vote.
There it is. Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Item 13B, Resolution 2023-10443, approving coronavirus state and federal relief funds and the subsequent agreement for the drainage district subrecipients for water and infrastructure, 40 million.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Any discussion on that item? Please call the vote.
Call the vote.
I know, it's crazy.
Like Sarah.
Old school.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. 13C, Resolution 2023-10445, resolution supporting FY 2023 budget amendment for the Central Intake and Assessment Center capital project. Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to support.
Any discussion on that item? Call the vote.
Motion passes 11-2. Commissioners Wallace and Song voting no.
Thank you. Item D, agreement amendment number 2 with Partners in Architecture, PC, Central Intake and Assessment Center. Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Support Romano.
Any discussion on that item? Please vote.
Motion passes 12-1. Commissioner Song voting no.
All right, thank you. 13E, proposal of Plante, Moran, and Cresa, owner representation for Central Intake and Assessment Center. I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Support Romano.
Any discussion on that item?
Scared me over there.
Please vote.
Motion passes 12-1. Commissioner Song voting no.
Item 13F, agreement Metro Technology Services IT, Central Intake and Assessment Center project. Need a motion?
Motion to support.
Any discussion on this item? Please vote.
Got in there pretty quick, didn't you?
Motion passes 12-1. Commissioner Song voting no.
Thank you. Item 14, Health and Human Services Committee recommendation. Need a motion to adopt items 14A A through 14A through K.
I'll make the motion, Chair.
Support.
Any discussion on that item? Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Item 15, Macomb Community Action, MCA relocation items. Items 15, I need a motion to approve items 15A through D. Discussion on that item? Items? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0 to 1. Commissioner Perna abstaining.
Thank you. Item 16, Public Records and Public Safety Committee recommendations. I need a motion to approve items 16A through G.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Any discussion on that item? Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Item 17, correspondence. Note from Macomb County Prosecuting Attorney commending outstanding efforts by the Board of Commissioners. Need a motion to receive and file.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Item 18, a board update. Crystal?
Hello. Just have a few updates and reminders. The first item I forgot to mention last month, you might have noticed us advertising the broadband study. And that, as most of you probably remember, is an initiative that came out of the Tri-County Summit. And we are working with Oakland and Wayne counties. And our county has partnered with the planning department for that. And all three counties did receive grants from SEMCOG to help fund that study. So that is planned to run through the end of the summer. So please help share that. The more people we can get to take that survey, the better data we will have. So it's really important. We're trying to share that in every way possible. For our AV install, we only have one item left on back order, and of course that's the item I mentioned last month, our podium mic. Otherwise, all the other equipment's here. You guys have your new monitors installed. The vendor will be out Tuesday to do the final tweaking and programming for the equipment. You might have noticed we have the wireless mics now that allowed Adriana to train Mary off to the side with more room yesterday. That will allow us to use these tables with mics or set up the room differently if we need to. So we're almost done with that project. And as I mentioned, you noticed that staff has been cross-training, and we were excited to welcome our new staff person, Rolla. So she's also been training to back up Luke at the meetings, and she will be working more with you all individually on outreach and constituent relations. The guidebook got sent to the printer a little later than we had expected, but the printer does have the file, and print time's about 2 weeks for that. The Older Adult Advisory Committee had a very successful and well-attended first meeting out in the community. They met in Harrison Township in June, and they will be in Washington Township next Thursday, July 27th at 3 p.m. at their township hall. And then a reminder that our legislative town hall is scheduled for August. It will be held at 1 p.m. before a committee meeting on Tuesday the 15th. We'll be doing that in the lobby. We've received a good number of responses so far, and we'll send reminders out again at the beginning of August. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Crystal?
Good job.
I have a question. Thank you, Chair. Crystal, do we know how many people have submitted to the broadband survey? Are there stats right now, and what is our target?
Kyle's been sitting in on those meetings, so I'll let him answer that.
They do have that information available. I don't have it currently, but I'll get it for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Crystal.
I can say, they did say at the last meeting, Macomb is the highest rate of response of the three counties. So that's kudos to us.
Awesome.
And our office has been designated to answer any calls. So anyone in Macomb County who has problems with the survey, those calls do come to our office. We haven't received a great deal of them, but that helps keep us connected to know what the public out there, what any issues they're experiencing, or even what kind of questions they have.
Yeah, and during the work group, I know we had some concerns about people taking the survey but not having access to internet to take the survey. So there was sort of like a catch-22 there, and I just wonder if there are any other barriers that, that we can identify, and whether it's directing people to the library, to take it there, or if we have a day where we take out, iPads or tablets to do surveys in person.
They do mail them a survey if they call and want a paper survey. So that is an option. And do you have more information on that, Kyle?
Yeah, they are aware of that, and they're working with the local libraries and the schools. There are some bookmarks that I believe we have at the front desk that the libraries should have in their last meeting. They did an update. They're connecting with a lot of the summer reading programs to try to get those to the schools and even the senior program. So the libraries are involved. They're active partners, and everybody's been very great, very cooperative.
Thanks, Kyle. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, planning department's been working really closely. We're actually, the planning department's got the lead on this item, but we're supporting that with the answering the surveys, and all of you feedback could push that out in your own communities, and we post some on social media and all the rest. But it's really a joint effort. It's really going very well, and we've got a team effort going once again around here, so we appreciate that. Any other questions for Crystal on anything? As always, we're always available after report. I'll send a report along in reference to my voice. I'll just hold my comments. So we'll close the board office updates. Item 19 is public participation. Anyone from the public wish to
Do
be
we
heard?
have to vote to receive and file?
Oh, yeah, we didn't do that, did we? All right, please go ahead.
Motion to receive and file.
Thank you, Commissioner Meyer.
I'll support.
Thank you. Please vote. Thank you very much. Public participation. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Anyone from the public?
Qualify as the public. Mark Hacker, Macomb County Executive, 17932 Chief Drive, Macomb Township. But
I
with
just
that being
want the
said-
commissioners to know
That's right.
this is a monumental occasion.
And this is
The
a
storm
monumental
is
occasion.
coming.
I would have to agree. I say that for many
Storm is
reasons.
here.
So this has been a long time coming. It's actually an amazing effort. I think on behalf of many folks, in particular, on behalf of Sheriff Wickersham and his team, and I know Captain Laurie is here as well from the sheriff's office to make sure that if there's any other questions or concerns regarding this project in light of what was voted on 2 days ago, might have changed or might have been of interest to you, that she's here on that behalf. But I got to tell you, on behalf of my team, with the county executive's office, Vicki Wolber is just, as you all know, an incredible asset to this county, and one of those folks that really does dive into the issues, whether it was the COVID concerns we had during COVID, and or obviously the ARP funding that we have supporting projects and things that we're looking at doing here in Macomb County that were very transformative. I think many people know the CARES part of the project was more transactional, but when we realized we got about $170 million coming our way, we need to do something that really is going to have a significant impact on what's going on in the entire county. And with that, making sure that it's going to be sustainable and transformational so that we can look at this into the future and say, why, what an incredible thing we did here in Macomb County to really change some things. And there's no question, the jail, its aging facility has always been a topic of conversation and a priority for this board, for this county. And now we're going to be able to fix that. We're going to be doing the right thing, but doing it with a mindful approach towards mental health and substance abuse is absolutely critical. And I think we are going to set the tone throughout not just the state of Michigan, but I think throughout the country. This will be an example. This funding is going to support what we call the brick and mortar part of that project. And let me tell you, it is necessary. I go back to the days when I was walking through the maximum security. And by the way, these were the detox clocks that we had, the detox clocks. We would go through and actually use it. And the support of the officers working in those facilities wasn't towards looking at people with mental health substance abuse issues. We're just making sure they didn't hurt themselves, harm themselves, that they haven't left our facility, that they're still there. But we need that support internally. We need folks that really understand this from community mental health, and the support we're getting from Barb Caskey and her team and Dave Packetay, I got to tell you, we're really getting a lot out of it. And Phil, I appreciate your efforts and supporting and being a part of this along the way. But, you know, even more importantly, and I hate singling people out, but I got to do it, Don, your leadership on this project has been incredible. And Harold, you being by his side and realizing the importance of this from a county's perspective of doing what we need to do to support public safety throughout the entire county, because that's what this will do. This facility, unlike other counties throughout the entire state, will be able to take care of every municipality. From the moment somebody gets arrested and brought in, we're going to be able to take a look and determine what are the issues and how do we support those issues. If they need to be confined, we're going to have the right size facility to manage that population, but also providing the support that's needed. But also looking at what is out there community base for the community mental health organization to help us deal with these individuals. This doesn't address every issue of mental health throughout the entire county, but I got to tell you, it's the one that we have the opportunity to have an impact on. We can't help out every issue that's happening in our schools or in the healthcare industry and the hospitals. But those that come in contact with law enforcement, we have a responsibility, we have an opportunity, and you just did something here that is monumental and critical in addressing that issue by supporting this project. So I can't thank you enough on behalf of Sheriff Wickersham, who is responsible for taking care of these folks in that facility, but on behalf of the county and looking at this visionary project, you are supporting something that I have a feeling you're going to see shortly. After this facility is open and it's up and running, there are going to be people doing case studies on what we're doing with mental health issues and substance abuse. And I think there's going to be probably other funding coming our way to support our efforts. And we are going to be, without question, leading the country in making sure that people understand there is a better way of handling mental health as opposed to continuing to talk about we need to do something about it. Well, here in Macomb County, with this vote here today, we are on the way of making sure that something is happening and we are doing something about mental health and substance abuse, but also fixing a facility that has been aged and needed to be addressed for the last 20 to 25 years. So again, on behalf of Sheriff Wickersham and myself, I can't thank you enough. I look forward to working with you in the future. I know Mark Delden, Vicki Wolber are going to continue to provide you the updates, the information on this project, you know, the construction, to make sure that everything is on time, on budget, and any questions and concerns you have regarding that, we'll make sure we will answer them in totality. So thank you again for your support on this particular project. Appreciate it. And Joe, thank you for taking a lead on this as well. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else under public participation? Anyone else wish to be heard? Anyone else under public participation? Seeing none, we'll close that. Item 20 is commissioner comments. Any comments from the board?
No, I just like Mr. Hollywood.
Commissioner Nard.
Okay. I just wanted to say, you know, I got a lot of calls regarding the project that Executive Haskell just spoke about. And I just wanted the people in the public to know that this was in no way political. It's about safety and people. And what I was trying to get them to understand is we're not just trying to make prisoners comfortable. What we're doing is we're taking care of the people that we're responsible for. And we got to remember that we have officers and other workers that are in these facilities that spend a lot of their life in there. They didn't do any crime, but they're spending time with these people. And I just can never forget the day that I spent. I think we were in there an hour and a half, and it took me 2 weeks to get over that. So, and I didn't do anything wrong. So, I mean, I just commend everybody that, you know, search their hearts and really examine what was going on. I know the sticker price was high, but you know, when you want something like that or you need something like that, sometimes it's going to cost, especially if you let it go. And then the other thing I wanted to comment on was I had a really bad incident that happened last Wednesday. My grandson went to his dad's house and found his dad deceased on the floor. We just got the autopsy back, and there was no cause of death. There was nothing wrong with them. So when he got that news, that was really difficult for him. I was on my way this past Saturday to take him to the funeral home to make the arrangements, and a truck blew the stop sign and ran into my car. If I hadn't turned the wheel, I probably wouldn't be here today, and neither would my grandkids that were in the car with me. So when I a lot of times when I talk on my Facebook page, I always ask people to pray for me and pray for my safety, and that's why I do that, because I realize that you just never know. I mean, we take life for granted sometimes, and even when we're in this boardroom and we're making decisions on things, I always consider the long term of what could happen when I make a decision. And I never make a decision, and I hope no one up here makes a decision because of a political affiliation. That is just sickening to me, and I don't ever want to hear that when people call me and say things like that. I wanted to make it clear that anything that we did on this board regarding that project and any other project that we're going to be approving has never been political, and it never will be. It's about safety, and it's about the people. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Nard. Commissioner Wallace.
Thank you, Chair. I know with the storm coming, it's a bit crazy, but I still will be holding my human trafficking town hall in Mount Clemens today. I did have a survivor of human trafficking that was coming, but you know, when you start speaking out in front of people, you get nervous, and there are a lot of triggers. So I'm not for sure if she's going to still be able to come, and if she doesn't, that's completely fine, because it's a process to heal, and that's one thing that we'll be talking about. But another thing is just prevention and how it takes a village to keep our community safe. So I've decided to go live because of the weather. So if any of you want to jump on any of my social media just to see what we're talking about, my daughter is going to meet me there so she can set up like all the devices and everything. If I can go live and record it, then I'll do that. But this is just a start for us to really get into our communities and keep each other safe and look out for one another. So thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Wallace. Commissioner Ha.
Thank you, Chair. Antoinette, I know I have dark glasses on, but I think the storm's here. I saw Commissioner Romano ducking over there twice with the thunder. I just wanted to touch on the point that Executive Hackle made. We had the police chief from multiple entities, multiple communities here. The issue with them was not having to open the jails that are closed. Transporting to the county meant each one of our municipalities did not have to reopen the jails. That saves resources. It puts cops back on the street. Yeah, one of the issues I never even thought of until our chief told me last night is it saves the municipalities insurance money, because they don't have to deal with the issues that take place or insure the jails. They transport it down to Tony, and quite frankly, as he's been saying all along, it becomes his problem. So we all ought to be able to look our police chiefs in the eye and say, we saved you money. And they understand that. That was one of the reasons they were here. They wanted to make sure we understand that. So I think it's transitional, innovative. I've spoken enough on this subject. I know we're going to be speaking more because our finance chair over there now has his line item, and he can take care of looking at all these dollars. And trust me, Joe will, and he will bring it to our attention, and that's a good thing. We've started a transitional process here. It's teamwork, it's spirit to core. We need to keep that going. So with that, I know Jimmy's going to ask me why I have dark glasses on.
I think you're a movie star.
Thank you. That would be the answer, Joe.
There you go.
That's all I have, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Van Sickle.
Thank you, Chair. On a happier note, in September, we're going to do a bike ride in Sterling Heights at the Clinton River Park North. Sterling Heights has a great trail system that goes through that park, connecting down to Dodge Park and then connecting up through Utica to Shelby and on up to Macomb Orchard Trail. We're not going to go that far. Staff is Laura is working with me, and we're going to get this arranged for the third Saturday in September in the morning, 9 to 12. I believe it's the 16th, but it's the third Saturday. So get out there and practice up. Everybody's welcome to come and participate and show off your biking skills. Thank you.
Thank you. Looking forward to it. Commissioner Romano.
I don't have a bike. Can I ride piggyback with somebody?
You can do yoga.
Yoga. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, we'll get a trailer for you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. A little trailer with
Yeah.
a little hood on it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to piggyback on what Executive Mr. Hackle said regarding the intake, and then I'll let it go. And I have to say this honestly, without Mr. Hackle, without the team that you have, which was spearheaded by Vicki Wahlberg, Mr. Delvin, Mr. McKinnon, and Sheriff Wickersham, this would have never come to pass. As many questions as these commissioners have, and we had a lot of them, they were answered completely and honestly and with a lot of depth and information. So don't thank us as much as you would thank your staff, because that's why it happened. That's all I have, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, I'm proud of this board, though, because there's a lot of moving parts with that whole project. Some of us, like me, have been around a long time, and some would say it took us a long time to get to this point, but some of us had some background. Most of you didn't have any background at all, anything about the jail. And there are a lot of things that came at you with a lot of dollar amounts, and it was complicated and daunting. But the board took our time to go through it. We all have different political views. We come from different backgrounds. You all bring different things to the table. But we once again, dealt with complex issues in a respectful manner, a thoughtful way, took our time, worked through the issues, and came to the right responsible decision to do something with the jail that's our constitutional responsibility. So, but I'm proud of everyone, how we handled ourselves and dealt with it. Everyone brought your own skill set, your own ideas, and guess what? It made it better. It brought out things that we're going to do, and it's a start of something wonderful, really, because it's the start of something that's going to be revolutionary, and it's going to move this county forward and be a model for law enforcement, mental health, probably for the whole nation. And we're at the center of it. And it takes one team around here, one team, one mission around here. It's working with the administration, with us, and everyone else attached to them. So I'm really thankful, and something we should all be proud of. It's a big deal. It wasn't easy, but we got through it, and we all got something to brag about. So thank you very much. I see no other speakers. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Support Center.
Any discussion? Please vote.